Welcome back to Watson Park. Hope we find you suitably refreshed and ready for the second half of action here in the Isthmian League Division 1 South Central with us here on 90 Minutes Live. Half-time score, Ware 4, Harlow down 0, which puts Ware up to second place in the live table. Should the results around the country remain the same. Both teams are about to make substitutions. Ware actually have made theirs. Dan Rumans has gone off to be replaced by Dave Kendall. And preparatory, I think that, just precautionary from Paul Halsey. Dan Rumans had this calf problem. He struggled last week against Barking. And so Dave Kendall comes back into the side. Someone, of course, has been out with injury as well. And certainly will not make a lot of difference in that Ware back line. They really have got a strength in depth there. Gareth Madden, I saw just walking down as well. Another one who's injured so far this season. Marcus Marcoux is going to come on for Harlow. And we'll just have to have a look around and see who's gone off, because there wasn't a board that went up. So Marcus Marcoux has come on, and I think it's in fact no, Aziz Kone is over on that far side, so I think it's Dylan Gordon that's gone off. We'll confirm that when we do a little bit of a head count as the referee gets underway, and it is indeed Dylan Gordon who's gone off, and Marcus Marcoux comes on for Harlow. So Harlow have got themselves a throw-in on that far side of the field. Biller onto the head of Finley Titchmarsh. But is Harlow coming forward with George Doyle as his pocket picked by Alarushti. Here's Lee Rose, finds Marcus Milner. Milner across the halfway line. Milner further forward looking for Tommy Wade, but Styles is there, and Styles on the far side finds Biller. Biller's ball forward onto the head though of Lewis Rose, helped on by Lee Rose. Elliot Styles in the way. Styles long ball forward once again onto the head of Lewis Rose. Lee Rose goes down. Got a kick in the side by the look of it from Cyrus Gordon. That gives me a chance to run through the two lineups for Ware. Callum Kitchker in goal. Finley Titchmarsh at right back, Pat Adamson at left, Dave Kendall now alongside Lewis Rose in the centre of defence. Chris Arthur has been playing wide left, Marcus Milner wide right, Lee Rose and Tom Bruno and Ala Ushti in a three-man access in midfield in support of Tommy Wade up front. Where subs still on the bench, Liam Hope, Reece Crowter, Yovav Sade and Stanley Mugo. As far as Harlow are concerned, Callum Taylor in goal, Craig Alcott, Ahmet Biller, Gavin Austin, Elliot Styles, George Doyle, Dylan Gordon have been replaced by Marcus Marcoux at the half-time, Cyrus Gordon, Courtney Austin, Christian Giamphi and Aziz Kone. So their substitutes, Dave Collis, Ross Elsom, Jaden Phillips and James Pugsley. As Tom Bruno restarts, looks to search out Dave Kendall on this near side. Chris Arthur will pick up the scraps just outside the 18-yard box, curls it into the box, and in the end it was Gavin Austin who had to thump it clear for Harlow and give Ware a throw-in on this near side of the field. Goals in the first half, 2 for Chris Arthur, 2 for Tommy Wade, so 2 players out there on a hat-trick. As Pat Adamson will take the throw-in for Ware. Parallel to the edge of the 18-yard area, near side of the field, gets it back off Chris Arthur. Ala Ushti is wrestling on the edge of the area. Here's Adamson. Adamson trying to get it on the left foot. Still down there, and in the end Ware with themselves another throw-in. Pat Adamson will take it. Marcus Marcoux was involved there. Number 17 on his back. Adamson's throw to Tom Bruno. Nice footwork by Bruno. But in the end, Harlow sorted out. Only as far as Dave Kendall drives it in. It's Tommy Wade on the way. And Harlow will get it clear, or should do, with Cyrus Gordon. Gordon's ball forward. Looking for Giamphi down on this near side. Chris Arthur is there doing the defending. Giamphi turns away and brings in Marcoux. Marcoux finds Giamphi on the edge of the area. Chris Arthur managed to get a boot in. Harlow have got it back though with Cyrus Gordon in centre field. Cyrus Gordon looking for Aziz Kone. Drifted in from that left hand side is Biller. tees up the cross with the right boot, and in the end it just goes harmlessly behind to the Harlow fans, gathered behind that goal away to the right hand side. Haven't had an attendance yet, but fairly healthy certainly here this evening. Another one of those evenings though, we always question the fixtures. Why are Ware and Hertford at home at the same time? And Hertford, of course, 2 goals to the good against Chalfont St Peter. A couple for Sam Fanian, takes his season total of 5. Long ball forward off the head of Styles. Here's Marcus Milner. Milner's got Titchmarsh going outside him. It's Finley Titchmarsh head of the area. Oh, almost pulled it across to Tommy Wade. Defender in the way though. Belair manages to get it clear under challenge from Titchmarsh, who gives away the free kick. Ware have got Marlow this time next week, where we'll be, and then the following Saturday they're away at Northwood. As on Saturday, Harlow have got a game against Chalfont St Peter, and the week after that they're away at Westfield. So every game counts, and certainly every point counts for Harlow at the bottom, but it does for Ware at the top. They're currently second in the live table. Is Chris Arthur forward for Lee Rose, looks for Alarousti, and Styles brings down Lee Rose, and once again Elliot Styles does that experience thing. In fact he's coming towards the referee this time. I think he's taking the chance, because I've got a feeling the referee might show him a card here. Lee Rose still down. But Styles is getting a talking to from the official, who's been relatively lenient up until this moment. So we'll see if that leniency continues with the Harlow number 5. Referee giving them a talking to, doesn't seem to be getting the notebook or showing a card of any description. So Tom Bruno's got it. It's just to the left of the D, about 30 yards out. Might fancy his chances here. 4-man Harlow wall in his way. All queuing up on the far side of the area. Lee Rose is there. And so is Lewis Rose. Dave Kendall poised for a late run. And Alarousti on the left-hand side is completely unmarked, standing on the edge of the 18-yard box. Cyrus Gordon finally breaks away from the wall. In fact, it's Aziz Kone they bring across, but Bruno's going to hit it. And the goalkeeper, Taylor, gathers it comfortably into his midriff. But they were all wondering what was happening there, because Alarousti was probably about 20 yards away from anybody on the edge of the area, and Harlow just didn't pick him up. It's not been their night, that's for sure. Lewis Rose heads it forward. Ware lead here, 4-0, and they could have had more. Chris Arthur near side, he could have had a hat-trick. He's already got 2. Ball from Tommy Wade looking for Alarousti, and Belair will put it back to Callum Taylor. Taylor's long kick forward onto the head of Finley Titchmarsh on the halfway line. Lee Rose goes up with Marku, breaks to George Doyle, and Kendall will cut that one out, and Marku bounces on it again. And there's Aziz Kone, brings in Cyrus Gordon. Cyrus Gordon shows too much of it to Tom Bruno. Does manage to recover those. Bruno gets a boot in, and Cyrus Gordon shields the ball, can't get it away from Chris Arthur, but he can win a throw-in for his team. Throw-in taken to George Doyle. Tom Bruno putting him under pressure once more, and Adamson this time will win the ball and win the free kick for Ware. It's been too slow and too precise by the visitors. They've failed to find their men at times as well. Passing's been poor. Wide players haven't tracked back. How many more reasons do you want? I've got to say, Dave Collis has got a lot of work to do on this evidence. He's brought the players in, though, to be fair to him. They've got to bed in, but they're going to have to bed in quickly, or they're going to find themselves in trouble at the foot of the table. Callum Kitchka will start once again. Long kick forward. Tommy Wade lets go over his head. Alcock just about manages to stretch it, otherwise Lee Rose would have been away. Gavin Hostin's long ball forward again. Easy meet for Lewis Rose. Forward by Adamson. Alarousti goes up, but he was offside. And so was Tommy Wade. But certainly it's 14 goals, or 13 goals should I say, in 3 games now, whereas meetings with Harlow here. And we've still got plenty of time left in this one, of course. There's a long ball over onto the far side, finds Tom Bruno ahead of Marku, but in the end it runs out and Belair will collect it. Throw in to Ahmed Belair. A bit of possession from the visitors. Here's George Doyle. Doyle goes around Lee Rose, back for Cyrus Gordon. On this side is Craig Alcott. Alcott looking to come forward. Puts the ball across the box. Lands on the edge of the area. Ware was slow to react there. George Doyle, though, is beaten by Dave Kendall and stabbed out by Tom Bruno to Alarushti. It's Tommy Wade on the left. He's got Marcus Milner on the right. Alarushti going through the middle. It's Tommy Wade. Tommy Wade turns the ball all the way across. Oh, it's the referee. And, well, Pat Adamson will pounce on the ball, but it's going to be Ware they're going to get possession here with the ruling because the ball hit the referee. Bruno turns it back to Dave Kendall. Kendall, oh dear. Challenge going in there. And I think we are going to see the first card. Marcus Marcoux went well over the top there on Dave Kendall. And I think the number 17 will be very lucky if he doesn't see a yellow card for that one. Referee's going to make his mind up here. I think actually he's already got the yellow card in his hand, so I think he has made his mind up. So Marcus Marcoux is going to be the first one booked. Not bad, I suppose, when you consider we're 9 minutes into the second half. First yellow card in the local derby. Sometimes you get local derbies where people don't realise the ball's been on the pitch for 15 minutes, but there certainly hasn't been one of those. Well, Ware haven't let it be one of those, have they? It's not been competitive at all, really. Home side lead by 4 goals to 0. Marcoux gets the yellow card despite protesting his innocence. And Dave Kendall is OK and back up, which is good to see from a Ware perspective as he's had his time out injured, of course. Kitchka's come all the way up over the halfway line. Referee's having a little bit of a debate with Tom Bruno. Referee's still having a bit of a debate with Tom Bruno. They're waiting for the ball to be retrieved from over on that far side of the field. Kitchka will now retreat towards his goal. Tom Bruno's in the centre circle, just on the left-hand edge of the centre circle. It's about 5 yards inside the Harlow half. Kendall's poised for a real late run on that far side. Tom Bruno hands on the hips. Alarushti goes across the box now. Looks for Lee Rose. Lee Rose heads it up in the air. Lands on the edge of the area to Marcus Milner. Milner's got red shirt squirming all over him though. And Billaire should clear on that far side. Clears down the line. Tom Bruno does a good job of getting there ahead of Courtney Austin, but forward is George Doyle. Doyle's brought down by Dave Kendall this time, and perhaps that might be a yellow card, but I'll have a look. Referee wants to have a word with the Ware substitute. But Harlow have got themselves a free kick. Inside left position, for those of you who remember those things. Cyrus Gordon does that silly thing of kicking a ball at Tom Bruno, who was still in front, and the referee was nowhere near ready. Cheap way of trying to get your opponent booked, really, isn't it? You should know better than that. But free kick is going to be taken by George Doyle. I've brought Elliot Stiles up from the back. Gavin Austin's up there as well. Giamph is always an aerial threat from this kind of situation. Doyle's kick looks for Stiles, who heads it down, but all he can do is head it down into the arms of Callum Kitchka, and Callum was then caught by Gavin Austin. Kitchka's gone down, and the referee again has been rather lenient. Ware bench weren't impressed with that, that's for sure. But Fitio's come out, and Callum Kitchka, who's had his problems, of course, missed out on a couple of games this season. Young Ethan Gannon's done a sterling job in deputising, but as good as Ethan is, Ware won't want to lose their goalkeeper. So Callum's going to need a little bit of treatment here, so we're going to have a break in play. 90 minutes live, covering East Herts and surrounds teams, and also with our weekly programme on a Monday night, myself and Simon Alamandi, who's doing a sterling job on Twitter again this evening. We've got the hour and a half, 90-minute show with all the local sporting news, and our guests of the week this week, Chloe Clay, the young striker from Watson Park Ladies. It was a pleasure to catch up with Chloe. And also, we had some belting donuts of the week. You're going to have to check those out. And some particularly good South American footballing substitutions. I would love to have been a commentator in one of those games. Anyway, Callum Gitchko's back up. He looks okay, and so the game's going to restart. Liam Hope doing a bit of limbering up. Well, feeling they'll give Liam perhaps 20 minutes or so. He's been out, of course, injured. Long kick forward by Kitchker. Looks for Tommy Wade, who does well. Heads it to Alla Ushti. Ushti's got Styles all over him. Back heel by Alla. Finds Chris Arthur. Chris Arthur's got Styles at his back. Chris Arthur's still going. Good strength being held off there. And eventually, well, it's Arthur who gets the ball back. Lee Rose nips it over the top of Cyrus Gordon. Alla Ushti's got Styles all over him again. And in the end, it's Alcott who clears the ball. But Ware get themselves a free kick. Well, I don't quite know what the referee was waiting for there. There were tackles flying in left, right and centre. It could have been one of those that sparked off. But in the end, he gave Ware the free kick. Tom Bruno will take the free kick. About 35 yards out, right down by this left-hand side. Kendall's come up from the back again, as has Lewis Rose. So Bruno's going to swing it across with the right boot. Tom Bruno swings across with the right boot at the far post. Sliding in was Dave Kendall, but the ball goes wide of the target. Oh, I think it was Gavin Austin who got the touch on it, took it away from everybody, and Kendall was coming in on the far post, but slid it wide of the target. Just past the hour mark here at Watson Park then. Thank you for joining us on 90 Minutes Live. You'll be particularly enjoying it if you're a Ware fan. The lead here 4-0 as Marcus Milner sent down that right-hand side. Styles is going across, has to be certain, and does a good challenge. Puts the ball out for a throw-in. Caught the man there, he would have been in big trouble. Titchmarsh will take the throw for Ware, midway inside the Harlow half, down the line, looking for Milner. Milner was hemmed in on that far side. Biller managed to get the ball clear, but he's given the free kick away. I think it's going to be a free kick. Just wait for the referee's signal. Or is it going to be a throw-in that the ball went out over there? In fact, it's going to be a throw-in as Finley Titchmarsh will take it for Paul Hawes' team. Looks for Tom Bruno on the far side. Ball goes out again. Throw in the Ware. Titchmarsh will take it. Harlow subs warming up now, as Ross Elson being one of them, as on that far side. Titchmarsh, oh dear, Titchmarsh is pulled down this time. She's getting a little bit tetchy this game. Decent spirit in the first half. It's getting a bit niggly out there now. Aziz Kone is the latest culprit. But Ware have themselves a free kick, which Tom Bruno has already spotted down to take. Dave Kendall strolling towards the edge of the box. Lewis Rose about the penalty spot. Lee Rose in there as well with Tommy Wade. Milner just prowling around on the edge of the area. Bruno will take it in front of a two-man Harlow wall. Cyrus Gordon and Marcus Marcoux. Tom Bruno then looks up. Referee will sound the whistle. Here comes the free kick from the far touchline, driven in and headed out the near post, but only as far as Milner. Oh, and the shot comes in on the turn from Lee Rose, but over the top of the crossbar. Decent opportunity. Had to take it very quickly. But in the end, he took it and it went over the top. Callum Taylor will take the goal kick from the goal away to our left-hand side. Lee Rose heads it down away from Giampfi, looking for Tommy Wade. Gavin Austin got the slightest of touches, but it was enough. It's Chris Arthur who just uses his strength to shepherd the ball out of play. Ware's throwing midway inside the Harlow half. Throws out Alushti on the edge of the area. He's got Styles all over him. Again, ball breaks to Tom Bruno. Bruno thought about the shot, but he brings in Marcus Milner. Milner does fire it across. It goes into the 6-yard box. Harlow just haven't got it clear. Back in by Bruno. Alcott now does clear. Chris Arthur tries the shot, and in the end it rebounds out to Courtney Austin. George Doyle's ball, though, bounces back, and Ware have got it back with Lee Rose. Inside for Chris Arthur. Arthur got players all round him, and manages to find Tom Bruno inside the centre circle, back to Lewis Rose, who finds Finlay Titchmarsh on that far side. Titchmarsh from Tom Bruno. Nice interchange between the two of them though, but in the end Titchmarsh commits the foul, and Aziz Kone goes down, and the Harlow have themselves a free kick. Elliot Stiles looking for Courtney Austin on that far side. Lewis Rose is the defender. Look for Kone inside, but Titchmarsh had read that, but he can't prevent it from going out for a corner. So corner number 5 for the visitors. George Doyle once again will be the dead ball architect on that far side of the field. Liam Hope continues to warm up for Ware, who have left only Tommy Wade forward inside the centre circle with Ahmet Billa as a guard. As the corner comes, high one and headed up by Lewis Rose. Bounce off Pat Adamson, who's going to go out for a throw in at Harlow on this near side. Throw's going to find Giampfi on the edge of the area. Alaousti there with Pat Adamson, and Adamson thumps the ball off the big number 10, and Ware get themselves a goal kick. So, goal kick to Callum Kitchka. He's had a pretty easy night, really, the Ware goalkeeper. And the story of the game is that Ware absolutely bossed the first half. 2 goals from Chris Arthur, 2 for Tommy Wade. And we've got 2 balls on the pitch because the one that did go over has just been retrieved. So it's got to be said. In the first half, I think even Dave Gollis will admit Harlow found it hard enough going with 1, let alone 2. So we're now back to 1 ball, and Callum Kitchka to restart from the goal away to our right hand side. Harlow about to make another change. It's going to be Jaden Phillips who is going to come on. He's on this side is Marcus Mark, who pulls it across, and Callum Kitchka does finally have a save to make, but it's a fairly routine one inside the 6-yard box. So Jaden Phillips is about to come on. He's a third-year Southend scholar, like the goalkeeper Callum Taylor. So he's a striker. So we'll see what Dave Collis wants to do here, whether he wants to go for broke or produce a like for like. Got defending to be done at the other end though. Biller does it and finds George Doyle. Doyle over his head and out further towards the halfway line where Courtney Austin picks it up. Further down that line is the running Aziz Kone, but that's super defending by Lewis Rose, who's brought down by Kone, and Kone was involved in the incident further down by the touchline. A little bit lucky, get away with that yellow card there. I think it's not the first time, but Harlow wait patiently to make the substitution in front of us, as Callum Kitchka will take the kick. 21 minutes, second half gone. Got to say, as a spectacle, it's been a bit after the Lord Mayor's show, but as far as Ware are concerned, they're not too worried. They're 4-0 up. Scianfi is coming off, actually, to be replaced by Jaden Phillips, who'll go straight up front. So the young Southend youth player will come on. One of those 12 who arrived in the month of October. Must have taken half an hour for everybody to introduce themselves, let alone anything else. So, also, if you're a Harlow fan, I just know how difficult it is. Probably spend a couple of weeks going, who's that again? But, as on the halfway line, the ball lands at the feet of Marku, but it's hoofed back inside the Harlow half. It's Chris Sutherland for Tommy Wade, but the linesman's flag goes up very quickly, and Callum Taylor will collect. Finds Craig Alcott on this near side. Don't quite think he wanted that, and in the end, Phillips' first touch can't prevent the ball going out for a throw-in to Ware. So Pat Adamson will take the throw-in for Paul Hall's team. Looking for a little bit of movement. Not getting a great deal at the moment. Finds some with Chris Arthur though. Arthur plays the ball out to the right for Finlay Titchmarsh. Titchmarsh has got Milner outside him, tries the first time, crosses Alaousti. Ala puts it forward for Tommy Wade, but linesman's flag goes up again, and Taylor had come out and collected the ball anyway, the young keeper. He must have wondered what he was doing at half time. 4 goals on your debut. And be fair to the youngster, he wasn't to blame for any of them. Header forward by Dave Kendall. Bruno brings in Milner, far side. Milner with a chance to run against Biller. Here's Marcus Milner. Milner still going back heel. Tries to bring in Al-Aroushdi, but Biller did a good job there. And manages to send Harlow forward, and Ware might have some defending to be done. Here's Marcus Marcoux. Marcoux's ball on side. Well, that sums up Harlow's night for me. They had a real opportunity there with Austin and Phillips in the box, and they completely wasted it. Long kick forwards. Chris Arthur chasing it. Alcott will get there first and put it back to his goalkeeper, Taylor. Taylor will dribble the ball to the edge of his area. As far as we know still, Hartford 2-0 up at the Park against Chalfont St Peters and Fanian with both goals for Ben Hurd's team. And as far as we know, FC Romania were 3-1 up at Amwell, which one of the surprise results. Ashford Town Middlesex were down as well. Substitutions about to be made here. The board is just going up. It's going to be, by the look of it, Chris Arthur who's going to come off. So Chris Arthur's going to make way. I don't know if it's going to be Liam Ober, whether Reece Crowther's going to get another run out. We will wait and see. Here's Marcus Milner. Meanwhile, having a run right-hand side of the area. Milner pulls it back, but George Doyle was there first. Finley Titchmarsh managed to get a boot in, and Harlow have themselves a throw in. It's going to be Reece Crowther who's going to come on. So Reece scored his first senior goal last week here against Barking, of course. And so good to see another product of Ware's very, very impressive lineup of youth players. Seen Devontae Sims, of course, not included tonight, but he scored his first senior goal on Saturday. Young Reece as well. Tommy Shepherd banging the goals in at every level at the moment. Future looks bright as far as Ware are concerned. Near side of the field, Alcock puts the ball back to his young goalkeeper Taylor, and he has to be quick because Tommy Wade was almost in there. But in the end, the keeper skews it out of play, and it's going to be no hat-trick for Chris Arthur, but I'm sure he's going to get a big round of applause. 2 goals in the first half for Ware's new man, and going to see a lot more from him, I think. He comes off, and Reece Crowther comes on. Chris didn't quite know whether to go to the bench or whatever, but he claps the crowd clap him. And Reece Crowther will come on. Well, if we know one thing about this young man, if Craig Alcott thought he was going to have an easy time for the rest of the game, he hasn't seen him play. Adamson looks for Tommy Wade's ball headed out to the edge of the area where Marcoux tries to find Biller, and in the end it's skied by Aziz Kone, and Finley Titchmarsh will have it for Ware. Is Milner on that far side of the field. Looks for Lee Rose. Milner forward for Al-Aroushdi. Allah turns the ball around for Lee Rose. Titchmarsh has gone further down the touchline on the far side. Finley Titchmarsh to the edge of the area for Milner. Tried to send it through to Titchmarsh, but it all goes wrong. Ware will retrieve it on that far side through Al-Aroushdi, His ball back for Lewis Rose. Lewis for Dave Kendall. Pat Adamson's plenty of space on this left-hand side here, but Kendall's going down the centre. Still Dave Kendall. Kendall forward. He looked for Reece Crowther, give him the ball away though, and George Doyle he won't bring Harlow forward because Tom Bruno does a good job. Here's Pat Adamson going forward. Game's getting stretched. Adamson brings in Reece Crowther. First touch, ball across the box, and Styles manages to clear it for a throw-in to Ware. Barking 3, Waltham Abbey 0, and Chipstead 3, South Park 0 in this division. So non-Waltham Abbey's night. Going to be a first defeat of the season for the Abbey, as Pat Adamson will take the throw-in for Ware. Tom Bruno skies the ball forward. The young goalkeeper Taylor's got to watch it. And in the end, just bounces over the top. That could have been embarrassment for the young man. So as far as we've seen the live table, Ware will be in second place tonight. 17 minutes left here of this one. They lead 4-0. All the damage done in the first half. And Chris Arthur, who's since departed, Marcus Milner absolutely pulled Harlow to bits wide, and Tommy Wade and Chris Arthur got a couple of goals apiece. Here's Phillips, had no much chance to get into the game, the number 15. Cyrus Gordon for Elliot Stiles. Stiles far side, straight onto the head of Finley Titchmarsh. Fairly easy meet for the right back. Here's Phillips again, who's crowded out of it. And Ala Ushti will finally Rose. Forward for Marcus Milner is Ala again. Looking for something down this left-hand side. Reece Crowther was in perhaps too far an advanced position. Here's Marcus Milner, though. And Milner sending Finley Titchmarsh away down that right-hand side. Titchmarsh is in the area here. Titchmarsh goes down. Tommy Wade has scored a hat-trick. Well, did Tommy get a touch? Doesn't really matter. Finley Titchmarsh and Milner again proving a thorn in the Hawks' side. And when the ball came across, I think the number 4 got the faintest of touches. If he did, hat-trick Tommy Wade. But really, Ware won't care because it's 5-0. And if there was any small lingering doubt, that is the end of that. Tommy Wade scores a hat-trick, and I am now relying on Steve King to tell me the last time Tommy got a hat-trick. But he's done it tonight, and he's only in the side with greatest respect to him because Liam Hope's injured. So that's not bad when your centre forward can do that for you. But once again, Marcus Milner and Titchmarsh absolutely superb down that side. So we're not going to see Liam Hope in fact come on. We're seeing Marcus Milner come off. He'll get a big round of applause as well. And an excellent evening. And Yoav Sade, the youngster on loan from Oxford United, will come on. Big round of applause for Marcus Milner. Excellent game, Marcus Milner. Excellent game for him. I think Sade Lichtenfield is his full name. He dropped that when he was at Oxford United. He's going to go wide right. He can be a full-back or a wide right player. So Paul Halsey taking the opportunity to give a few of his squad players a bit of time. One of them's Reece Crowther, but he can't keep the ball in here. Ware 5, Harlow 0. Ware are going to go second tonight, we think. Harlow are going to be bottom. And it's got to be said, the difference in those two places tells the story of this match. Harlow have got a lot of work to do. And, well, Ware, after an iffy start, it's got to be said, are stamping their authority back on this division. As Bruno puts the ball forward for Tommy Wade. Looks like that was handball, but gets away with it because Cyrus Gordon comes forward for Harlow. Poor ball again. And Kendall's there finding Reece Crowther. Crowther for Ala Rushdi on the halfway line. Ala goes down under challenge from Gavin Austin. That referee doesn't want to know. Austin on that far side finds Belair. Belair onto the left boot into the area, up in the air and out by Dave Kendall. And away by Pat Adamson finds Ala Usti. And here's Reece Crowther. Crowther's brought down here by a substitute, actually James Pugsley, who came on when the goal was scored. So his first action is give a free kick away inside the just inside the Ware half. We've got 13 minutes to go here. Ware lead 5-0. Sometimes you get games when teams are 5-0 up and you don't think they've been good value. Well, I think you've got to say anybody that's witnessed this will say Ware will be good value for a couple more. They have been absolutely dominant since the 5th minute when Tommy Wade scored the first of his hat-trick to pull them ahead. Tom Bruno, good kick to that far side, but header comes up from Gavin Austin to get it clear, and Lee Rose trying his luck from distance. Big smile on Lee's face. Would have been even bigger if it had gone in. But Taylor in the end watched it go over the top. Been that kind of night for Ware. Smiles all round. Taylor right-footed with the goal kick. Got to feel sorry for him. I'm sure he'll have better days and he'll learn from this one. Young Callum Taylor. As Callum Kitchka on the far side brings Sade in for his first touch. Forward by Tom Bruno. Oh, look for Alarouste, but couldn't find it. Just 4 goals for Wales from Tommy Wade. What have been 14 appearances, like the hat-trick or 2 for Hartford, but what for Ware before tonight. Thank you to Steve King for that. So I can confidently say Tommy Wade's first hat-trick in a Ware shirt. Always rely on Steve, can't you? Although I'm saying there's an absolute rumour that he was present on the 24th of October 1896 when these two played their first league game. Not true at all. Harlow won that one 5-0, by the way. So 124 years later, a little bit of revenge for Ware. So ball goes out on this near side. It's going to be a throw-in, which James Pugsley will take. Pugsley, another one of those players that's joined in October. Plays football at a slightly lower level than this, although he is a fairly experienced defender. Ball lands on the halfway line ahead of Finlay Titchmarsh. Is Sade going through, and George Doyle just about managed to win the ball, but there Ian Styles almost getting a mixture, and Doyle thumps it out on this near side. One bounce to the Harlow dugout where David Collis, well, I think he's just got to put this one to bed and move on to the next one on Saturday against Chalfont St Peter. He will have learnt something. Certainly learned something that Wide, his team, have been ripped to shreds. As Styles puts the ball out, he's giving it away to Tom Bruno. Oh, Bruno's trying the glory strike. We've seen him score one from the halfway line last season, but Lightning didn't strike twice there. So got it all wrong, and it flew over the top of Callum Taylor's crossbar. So the goalkeeper will take the kick from the goal away to our left. So it's not been too bad. Ware's last 3 appearances here against Harlow: 5-0, 4-1, 5-0. Fairly comprehensive stuff. Only a crumb of comfort, I guess, for Harlow in this one, as they'll still stay ahead in the overall standings. Ware will have won 31, Harlow 36 of the 86 league games between the two. Sade puts the ball back to Lewis Rose. Lewis Rose picking up a little bit of momentum. It gives the free kick away. Markey takes it quickly as he's Kone on that far side. Back down the line to Belair. Belair for Markey, in fact. Again, poor control though. Sade's there wrestling for the ball. And Belair's got to go back to square one at Callum Taylor. Taylor uses the left foot this time, and Pat Adamson's there with a header. Reece Crowter can't get hold of it though, because Pugsley's there with him. Ball pushed forward, and here's Cyrus Gordon for Harlow. Tries to put the ball through, and in the end, well, was half a chance there for Courtney Austin. I don't think he expected that ball to go through as far as it did. Adamson back for Dave Kendall. Kendall down the lines, giving the ball away though, but so's Courtney Austin as Kishka comes out and collects it fairly easily from Jaden Phillips, the substitute. Well, if we know Paul Halsey, if Ware let a goal in here and don't get a clean sheet, then there will still be words said. At the moment they got that clean sheet and they're going forward with Reece Crowter. Crowter to the edge of the area, finds Alarouste, thought about the back heel, thought better of it, finds Tom Bruno. Bruno inside the area, looked for Tommy Wade, but Styles had sorted that out for Harlow. Taking his time about clearing it though. Styles has still got it as Tommy Wade closes the space down, managed to get a touch on the ball, and Ware looked to get it back through Tom Bruno. Bruno's ball on this near side on the volley, and Reece Crowter no chance of collecting that one whatsoever. Pugsley finds fellow substitute Marku. Ball goes down the line here and should be a Ware throw, shouldn't it? Well, referee, the referee got it right. Referee's assistant got it wrong. So the referee does give a Ware throw. Pat Adamson will take the throw here and find Tom Bruno. Bruno switches the ball from left to right. Finley Titchmarsh coming forward. Titchmarsh still coming forward. Titchmarsh for Tommy Wade. Finley Titchmarsh, 6-0 Ware. Tommy Wade the provider, and Finley Titchmarsh scores his first goal in a Ware shirt. And what a finish. Wow. They absolutely carved through that Harlow defence again. And what a moment for the young 17-year-old who has been absolutely outstanding as Finley Titchmarsh, and he's capped it off with his first goal in a Ware shirt. Well, they gave it to Rhys Crowther here. I know he'll accept it, but it was Finley Titchmarsh who scored it without absolutely shadow of a doubt. Well, Harlow fans heading for the exits here. They've seen enough. FC Romania 3-1 up at in their game against Hamwell Town, and Ware 6 up against Harlow Town here. 249 have watched it. And, well, once again, Paul Hall's team, who made a none too bright start to the season, it's got to be said, with a couple of defeats. Well, suddenly, Izmir League Division 1 South Central is going to have to take notice again, because Ware are right back. If there were any doubts, 13 goals in their last 3 games for Paul Hall's team. And they are absolutely flying. I think the only thing, we'll ask him about it after the game, is that he would have liked a game on Saturday, but they haven't got one. Marlow will be here next Tuesday, and if they've got people watching this, then they'll know they've got plenty of work to do. Adamson on this near side. Where might yet get another one? Adamson forward, looking for Ala Ustipa. Adamson's going through here. Tommy Wade's in the centre. Here's Tommy Wade. It's Sade on that far side. Oh, Tommy Wade's ball with a little bit of loose ball back across the area, and it's finally cleared by Bugsley. It's Finley Titchmarsh. Titchmarsh fought for Tommy Wade. On that far side of the field is Tom Bruno. Bruno keeps it in. His Titchmarsh goes down. But I've got to say, that was a bit of a dive. Even from my perspective, wouldn't get away with that one. But once again, Harlow just give the ball away through Courtney Austin. They're well beaten, and really is a case. If you're a Harlow Town fan, start the engine. We're out of here, because really they've been out of this one since the 5th minute. And Dave Collis, well, has got a lot of work to do. So if you're one of our Harlow Town fans, I know has been listening to us, I thank you if you've stuck with us, because your side will be back. All teams are back when they go through rough patches, but it's going to be a bit tricky, I think, for the next month or so. Here's Rhys Crowther. Crowther puts the ball across the box, but Taylor's got it before Tommy Wade can come in and get his 4th, which would be some performance from Ware's number 4. He's got a hat-trick. Chris Arthur's got 2. And Finley Titchmarsh has got his one as well. And so if you add to that, before we started play here, Ware had 11 different goal scorers this season. They've now got 14 as Tommy Wade picks up the ball on that far side. There are literally goals raining in from everywhere. Tommy Wade playing in central midfield. Gets it off for Titchmarsh, but in the end that all goes wrong. Maybe Tommy should stick to the other end. But Harlow have got a chance here. Coming forward, Courtney Austin plays the right ball in. Is Jaden Phillips, and Jaden Phillips scores a consolation goal for Harlow Town. Hits first in a Harlow shirt. Ware couldn't keep the clean sheet. And with 3 minutes to go, it's Ware 6, Harlow Town 1. Well, Jaden Phillips, Ware got caught that time. And Jaden Phillips scores his first. And if I know Paul Halsey, he will not be happy with that. Because once again, it was an Achilles heel for Ware last season. They just couldn't keep clean sheets. They dominated teams, but didn't keep a clean sheet. Here's Pa Adamson for Dave Kendall. Long ball forward, looking for Tommy Wade. Up in the air goes Gavin Austin. And the ball comes down for George Doyle. Ware will get it back, though, with Adamson. We've got Tommy Wade to aim at, really. Cyrus Gordon closes the space down. And Ware will have themselves a throw-in on this near side of the field. 2 minutes left at Watson Park as the referee looks at his watch. Ware 6, Harlow Town 1. Resounding victory for the home side. As we were saying on the 90-minute show last night, they look like the old Ware, and they've certainly looked like the old Ware tonight. Here's Pat Adamson. Adamson, long ball forward, but Reece Crowder was rather on his heels, but Styles can only skew it out of play for a throw-in, which Lee Rose will take on the halfway line. Hertford still leading 2-0 against Chalfont St Peter, as far as we know. 2 goals from Sam Fanian, so for our teams in East Herts territory, it's been a very nice evening. Here's Finley Titchmarsh to Sade on that far side of the field. Ala Ujdi looks for Titchmarsh again. Titchmarsh's cross over, and Callum Taylor will collect it on the near post. Not 6 against Harlow since November 1951. Thanks for that, Steve. So records keep being broken here. Ware have scored their first 6 against Harlow Town in 69 years. Tommy Wade's got his first hat-trick. Finley Titchmarsh got his first goal. Chris Arthur's got his first brace. How much more do you want? What an evening here at Watson Park. And certainly, if you're a Ware fan listening, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're a Harlow fan, well, if you are still listening to us, then thank you very much, is all I can say. As Cyrus Gordon fires a shot in, hits the Harlow flag behind the goal. And fair play to the Harlow fans, actually. Let's give them a mention behind the goal. Their team's 6-1 down, but they've never stopped shouting and encouraging their team. And credit to their team for that. As George Doyle finds Cyrus Gordon. Gordon's ball forward, easily picked off by Dave Kendall. Pat Adamson finds Reece Crowder. That's going to be the end of the action here at Watson Park. It's finished in the Hertfordshire Essex derby. Ware 6, Harlow Town 1. Damage really done in the opening half. Ware 4 up at a half time. A brace for Tommy Wade, a brace for Chris Arthur. Tommy Wade then completed his first hat-trick in a Ware shirt before young Finley Titchmarsh put his first goal past the young keeper Callum Taylor to make it 6-0. Jaden Phillips getting a consolation for the visitors 3 minutes from time. Where we'll move further up the table tonight. They'll get a week off until next week when Marlow are the visitors here. We'll be here on 90 Minutes Live for that one. Thanks for your company tonight. If you like your live local football, join us on Saturday when we'll be at Horsham. The FA Trophy tie between Horsham and Welwyn Garden City. If you're listening from Harlow, thanks for listening. Good luck for the rest of the season, and well done to your fans who did your club credit this evening. So many thanks for joining us here on 90 Minutes Live. I'll leave you with a full-time score of Ware 6, Harlow Town 1.